The arrogance of this woman will make you angry. Continue until the end and find out what will happen to her. Minutes before. Alice is Felipe's secretary. On this day, she is surprised by the presence of the owner of that club, as he had informed her that he could not attend due to private commitments, but he explains that he has decided to come to help the team with the financial statement. In addition, the new manager, indicated by his lawyer, should arrive in a few minutes. He asks Alice to receive her with the necessary attention, and she assures him that she will be attentive to that. A few minutes later, while eating a banana, Felipe is pestered by a woman, who asks what he is doing. Eating, he simply replies, with a wry laugh. She is not at all happy to see someone she believes to be an employee eating during working time. She is a rude person and questions whether the man is crazy, so he asks her who she is. Proudly, she introduces herself as Ms. Mariana, the manager of the club. Without asking who he is, she orders Felipe to get up and go back to work. The patient man tries to explain himself, but she claims she doesn't care if he is the pool boy, cleaner, doorman, or whatever. Her order is for him to get back to work immediately. Mariana has only been at the club a few minutes and insinuates that she is already tired, because everything is done wrong in that place, she hints. Shouting, she demands that Felipe clean up the mess made by her, not imagining that he is actually her boss. Soon after, Felipe seems to have a plan. He calls his lawyer friend and asks him not to tell Mariana that he is at the club. He wants to find out how far she will go with this behavior. At the office, always without introducing herself, she asks Alice what she is doing, who replies that she is the secretary. "I didn't ask your name. I asked what you are doing," states the manager. Without amusing, the employee answers that she is doing a report. Even though she has only read it for a few seconds, she accuses the secretary of having done a terrible job. According to the manager, everything is wrong. She shouts and claims that the secretary is an incompetent employee to hold the job. In her typical arrogance, she says that she understands why she was hired. In her view, everyone in the company works wrong and was in need of what she defines as a management shock. And so she orders the secretary to prepare strong coffee, even though this is not Alice's job. Mariana apparently confuses authority with authoritarianism, and management with rudeness. Outside, as has become common, she asks another man what he is doing, who explains that he is working. For her, everything is a reason to complain. Now she thinks the clothes worn by Lucas are inappropriate. Once again shouting, she questions where his uniform is. With a small notebook, she asks what the employee's name is just to note an infraction. Trying to calm the situation down, Alice appears and asks if Lucas has already met the new club manager, and he, without much excitement, welcomes her. Then Mariana receives and drinks the coffee prepared by the kind secretary, but, of course, this will be another reason for her to complain and scream. "What's that?" is her response to the question whether she had enjoyed the coffee. With no empathy for the company employees, she offends the poor secretary, accusing her of being incapable of doing something right. Back at Lucas, Mariana demands that he only work in uniform again, always making offensive comments. A few minutes later, the pool cleaner is talking to Felipe. Mariana calls them both lazy and questions what they are doing. The woman has no other behavior but aggressive and offensive. Adjectivizing people in negative and cruel ways seems to be part of who she is. Lucas finds this strange and asks why she is talking to him like this. But she doesn't know who Felipe is and finds it unacceptable that two employees like them dare to question her orders. He then asks his boss how long this will go on. Felipe explains that he is allowing this to find out how far she will go. At the office, Alice tells him that the new manager claimed that her work was all wrong, but she did it the way her boss taught her, and so she doesn't understand what's wrong. Speaking of her, Mariana shows up and is not happy to see the secretary talking to who she defines as a bum. The man loses his patience and asks what she called him. Then she repeats without hesitation, because she only saw he resting, eating and talking. At that moment, she takes a deep breath and orders him to call his boss. This is when the truth will be revealed. Get ready to witness what is about to happen. She also yells at the secretary, even though she interrupted her work while showing Felipe the report. A few minutes later, the owner of the club goes to the manager's room. Here is the boss, he introduces himself to her. But she laughs and replies that she asked him to call the boss, not dress as if he were. However, Felipe explains that it is he who is the boss. She still doesn't believe him and wonders if he is not only a bum, but also a joker. Then orders once again that the boss be called, but Felipe stands his ground and reaffirms that he is the boss of the company. He also doesn't understand how his lawyer was able to appoint to the management a person like her. With everything he has seen today, he says that he has already come to the conclusion that she needs to be fired. Suddenly, Mariana's speech and even her facial expression change. She apologizes and asks for one more chance to show how qualified she can be. But Philip's test was to prove just who she is when she is not around a superior. The businessman doesn't think to give her a second chance. "It's over," he exclaims. He is tired of looking at her and orders Mariana to leave his company immediately. A few minutes later, the club owner meets with his employees to apologize to them for what happened. He still doesn't understand why a person like that woman was appointed. After all, his lawyer knows what the company's values are, where respect is above anything. Never stop being a grateful and humble person, because you never know when you will need the help of others.